All right, so it is week 2, and this is day 2. We have our JavaScript application, our to-do list. We um, have added the functionality um, to the browser, where we're starting to update items inside of the browser, but we have seen a limitation. So if we take a look at our current app, let's see, we look at our course. We've got this. We can hit add, and then we say, what do we need to do? We need to um, add a way for input for the user to input besides prompt, right? Because then when we show this, nothing happens. But then if we quit, we can see we've got it here. So the prompt loop that we did is blocking us. So how can we do this? We need a way for our user to provide input in here. And so we do have an input inside an input tag that we can use inside of our HTML. And so we can add an input, and it is type equals text. And let's see if we can, why would it say that? Is it like this? Then we don't need anything. All right, let's do okay. We'll hit quit. Oh, looking at a different screen. Let's type in quit here. All right, and now we can see we've got an input we can type into. All right, now if we inspect this input, got the type text, does it show us a value for this? Surprised that we don't see a value in here in the elements. Interesting. Okay. Well, we have this bit, and so now we need to figure out how we can see what's in here and then add it to our array. So now we have an input type. We can use an attribute called placeholder to say type your to-do here. And we also can have a button. And our button can be add to do. All right. Now, the way that we did it before in our JavaScript was that we used query selector. In order to use query selector, we had to have an ID on our element, our HTML tag. So here we want to have an ID, and we want to have our ID. I guess we can call this text input, or we'll call it to do input. And we'll put this as our ID, and it will be to do button. It might have more buttons, so this should be add to do button. All right, so now we've got IDs, and we can go into our JavaScript and we can assign these to do. So this will be add to do button. And we're also going to have let add to do input. I'm going to say document, query selector, and we're going to have that pound, and we said add to do. Is that what we called it? That wasn't very good. Add to do input. So we have to do list, we have to do input. So all our stuff starting with to do. This says add to do. And we should do something like to do add button. I don't really love that, but at least it has to do at the beginning. Document dot query selector. And then we want to do add to do button. All right. So now we can kind of target these. And so with our, when we want to add to dos, how are we going to get this, how are we going to get the user input? So we don't really need to keep looping, but we do still need to check what the input is. We don't want to catch people in this loop. If they type something in and they click the to do, then we want to add the to do. So how are we going to get when we click the button? So this could be a good time to just Google something. So we want to say how to use HTML button to trigger an event in JavaScript. And it's telling us, okay, add event listener. So let's take a look. It says we have a button with an ID, click me, and then we're going to select the button in JavaScript, which we did. And then now it's saying let's add an event listener, a click event listener, and then we pass it a function. So let's try this out. So where are we? We're here in our app, and we're going to say add to do button, and we want to add an event listener. It was a click event, and we were passing it a function. All right, let's see. And then it told us that we wanted to say alert button click, but we don't really want to do alert button click. We want to add to a to do, right? Add to do, and we want to pass it whatever value was in there. So I think that there's something that we're missing here, right? Because we want to pass some information. So here we need to say like how to trigger an event, and then we need to say how to we need to say well, we should have we have the inputs, all right? So we could do, we've got the add to do input, and then we have add to do input, and why, is that what it's called? Add to do input. Got that. We should be able to, so how do we target the input text? field in JavaScript. Get element by ID. Okay, and then add data field JavaScript. When handling events like input or change, input field, event target property with an event element function directly references the element that triggered the event. So I don't think that this is what we're looking for, because what we need is like the value of it. So value, okay, and we just put input element value. All right. So why isn't it showing? That kind of messed me up there. It didn't show that. So we want to add to do, and we want to take whatever that is, and then we want to set the to do input equal to blank afterwards. All right. And then we should, let's just leave it at that. So where is our, okay, let's see what we got. I want to click OK. Oh, we need to disable this quit. Now we have our add to do, and we'll say test. Did it do it? Maybe we can look at our console and we can say, can we say to-dos? No, doesn't do anything. So whatever is happening here is not really working yet. So we've got this running true thing happening, and we no longer want this running equal true to happen. Okay, so we're gonna take that bit out. We don't want to prompt. We're just gonna, let's remove all this. All right, let's save that. Let's save this. Okay, so let's say, but now we need a way to show to-dos. Right. So by commenting that out, we've got this here, and we need to show to-dos. We click add a to-do, and that's not working. Okay. So it didn't clear this. We should be able to say do show to-dos, add to-do. When we run this, we need a console log. Now I'm using this console log to do add to do. Click. So we are add to do. So when we click add to do, it says add to do clicked. But why isn't it setting the input value? Like this should be clearer. All right, so add to do input value. Test add to do. Okay. I need to set the value to B1. So theoretically, I added the to do, but I need another button in my HTML that just says show to dos. Or maybe we always want to show to dos. Like, why wouldn't we want to see the to dos now? And then whenever so we probably just want to see the to dos from the beginning. So let's do this. For the app, what first we're gonna do is we're gonna do show to dos. Okay. And what we're gonna do, don't we have a handle to do? Let's make a new function called handle add to do, and we need to have to do text. And what we need to do then is add to do text. And then we need to show the to-dos. All right. So now we show the to-dos, and then instead of running this, we're going to, instead of add to do, we're going to handle add to do. Now, whenever I say go to dos, I add, it's going to show my to do. And I'm going to say log times for work. And I got to do that before I go to bed. All right. Now, this is interesting. Why does it have show to dos twice? Let's try this again. Brush teeth. Don't want to forget to brush the teeth. Every time it's just adding it. So show to dos. Oh, I'm sorry. You may not be able to see that. Every time I'm clicking this, new to do, is going to be oh my gosh, put the chickens up. I go do that. So every time it's adding a new thing. Crap, I gotta go put the chickens up. Okay. Gotta make this quick. So it's adding that every single time. Now, instead of adding it, I need to, so if we look at our HTML, what is our show to dos doing? Our show to do is just adding this. It's just appending the element to the to-do list element. So maybe in order to clear it, we have to do to-do list element. And we have to do inner HTML, and we have to clear that. Let's see if that works. All right, so we want to say we need to, number one, we got to put chickens in. Okay, I add that to do. Oh no. So are we, when we're adding our to do, we're pushing our to do to-do list element. Let's look at our to-do. Wait, hold on. Am I going crazy? I need. Why is all my button and stuff inside? It shouldn't be there, right? Why was that the do list element needs to be in here? Let's say put chickens up. Let's look and see. Do list element. Unchecked. Okay. All right. So it's still doing the thing, but whatever happened to do list element dot inner HTML, that didn't work. So instead of I'm creating elements, I'm adding it. I need to look something up. So how to clear a list with JavaScript. Okay. How to clear a UL list with JavaScript. Okay. Setting the inner HTML to document get element by inner element clear its content. I feel like that's what I did. To-do list element. Document to-do list. To-do list element. Inner HTML equals. Oh, okay. I got it. Where it's not a function. Equals this. All right. So there we go. Now we should be able to test and then put the chickens up. Nice. Then we brush our teeth. Okay. Now we can, and your challenge is to add a delete button that where we can delete one of those things. And then in the next video, we'll start with that. Hope you had a great class. I learned a lot. And the goal is you should be able to see how we're overcoming challenges. We don't really know what we're doing, but we're Googling where things aren't working and we're pushing the app forward slowly and surely. So hopefully this is an inspiration and not too much of a frustration, but frustration seems to be part of the game. And so let's embrace it and keep pushing on. Good luck.